Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the Ted Show. It sounds like I'm screaming. It's because I'm in a different room today at the Citrus Club. I'm here with my friend Rene Naranjo, all that good stuff. He's going to talk about Never Tell Me the Odds, going to give us his story. He's going to talk about his past rock and roll life. We're going to hear all about it. Rene, welcome to the show. How you doing today, buddy?
Thank you, sir. I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
Good.
As I told you
Look
right
good.
before, as I told you right before, I haven't been shot or stabbed yet today, and I know there's still
These are
points.
goals.
Yeah, exactly. But everything's great, man. How about
Good.
you?
Good. Everything is wonderful. You're my last show of the day, so I've been looking forward to this. Before we went live, I said that the audience loves origin story. So I've already given them a little hint about part of your origin story, but why don't you go back to the beginning and tell us a little 411 on you, buddy?
Yeah, absolutely. So I always tell people I'm Cuban from the best part of Cuba, Miami. It really is. It's the part with water, food, electricity, freedom. Born from two Cuban parents, and I was there until I was 4, and it was 2 weeks before Andrew hit. And my dad, he got a new job, so we moved to Port St. Lucie. I lived there, Port St. Lucie, Fort Pierce area, until I was 10, which is when we were in Orlando, and I've been here since.
Did you go to high school? You went to high school here then?
Yep, I went to Bishop Moore, I went to Rollins for undergrad, and I went to UCF for my master's.
Nice. I'm a UCF grad. See, master's degree. I don't know that I would do that again. It was a different time, but I am glad I have the master's degree, I guess. What did you want to do? Did you want to? You're currently, which we'll talk about. You're in the financial planning advising world, but is that what you wanted to do when you started out?
I didn't even know this career existed, to be very honest. My guidance counselors clearly were awful because they had no idea. But for me, and you and I kind of talked about this off camera, was I wanted to be a musician. I wanted to be, in the entertainment industry. I think
where did that come from? Did you grow up singing in front of your parents and performing?
Yeah, one of the earliest pictures that my parents have of me is at a family party or something, and somebody gave me like a toy guitar, and I was playing it. So I've always loved guitar and guitar driven music and things like that. But initially, I actually wanted to be an actor until I realized I can't do that. I'm not good at it. I'm not an actor. So the next logical thing in line was, all right, I got to get on a stage or something. So might as well pick up an instrument and go from there.
So did you know what you wanted to do with it long term? Did you think, all right, I can make a career out of this? What was the goal, or did you even have one at the time?
It was, global domination was obviously the goal, as every, I think, teenager, has that dream, because, the bands that I was listening to, Oasis, Metallica, Nine Inch Nails, Zeppelin, Queen. I mean, these were all big acts. So in my mind, that was it. That was the life. That was the goal. That's what I wanted to do. And I did it, but just in a much smaller scale, And we were playing around during like the MySpace days and all that. So it was a unique time for music and the music industry because everything was changing.
Yes.
We were still kind of on that CD into digital phase, more so on the physical side, on the CDs. And, just one day I woke up, and I'll never forget where I was. I woke up in a motel room because we had just finished, a gig like 4 hours prior. And we got into the motel room, and it was 4 dudes, and somehow I got the floor. So I woke up on the floor. The sun was hitting my eyes, and something just in me said, I don't want to do this anymore. I had fun. I loved my time, but I felt like I'd done it. And the only difference in what I was doing at the level I was at and is scale, and it just didn't seem like the challenge. There was nothing in it that kept driving me to say, I want to do more. It was just, yeah, I could do this same exact thing, just bigger, but it's the same exact thing. It's the same exact game. It's dealing with the same, sleazy promoters that are always trying to see how they can not pay you. And that was just the part of me that said, I'm good. I did it.
That was your epiphany moment. You had the moment.
Yeah.
But a lot of us have those moments. What did you do with it next? Did you have to sit on it and decide, all right, well, I'm not doing this. Now I got to figure out what the heck I'm going to do?
I definitely went through a transition period where, and luckily the guitarist in the band, he also was going through it, and his family owns the flooring center here in Central Florida. So he, him and his wife, they were expecting their first kid. So he was transitioning out. And luckily his dad, who's, like another father to me, he's like, hey, obviously this is winding down. Why don't you come on board? And I learned a lot. I learned a lot about business. I learned a lot about sales in a way that I hadn't in school, and I hadn't in, the band. And although I consider it a small business, what we were running, I never really ran. I mean, I ran it as a business, but it was, you didn't know what you were doing exactly because you didn't have that experience. Now I was able to basically see two very established brothers and how they run a business on a day-to-day basis, what things, they do, what things they put up with, what things they don't put up with, what sort of structures to have in place. And it was an incredible learning experience for me. And then one of my oldest friend, who's now my godson's mom, she made the mistake of making me the godfather.
Oh, I bet you're a great godfather.
Oh, I love the kid. I love the thing. She's gonna hate me if she sees this, but what I did was I named the child Burrito Spider-Man, and there's a whole story to go with that. Maybe we'll get to it later, but yeah, right now, her dad was an advisor with Raymond James, and he was wondering what I was doing, and so I had lunch with him, and he showed me the industry. He showed me what he did on a daily basis. And one of my degrees is in economics, finance, and the movement of money and investments and how it all, works together. It always fascinated me. And I was like, yeah, this is it.
So you liked it right away, because it's, yeah. I have my life and health license. I've not graduated to the level you are. And I just found that was not, for me, it was fascinating, but I felt like I was pulling teeth a lot. So, and I have a finance degree as well. And I feel like, you know what, this just isn't me. How did you go to, because it's sales, it's relationships, like it takes all the facets of business. What was the first month or two for you like? Because before we went live, I had a lot of people who said, I wonder if he'll talk about how he got into it, which you just did, and if wonder if he'll talk about how that first startup time was.
So I'll actually start a little bit before I started at RJ, because this career has really forced me to level up in a lot of different ways and learn a lot of things along the way. So getting into the industry, I quit the flooring center. I gave them, my 2 weeks notice. I made sure I closed everything out as much as possible and left them in the best situation as possible, because to this day, they're still family to me. And I started studying, and you needed to be sponsored to study. And I first started out with AXA Advisors, and they sponsored me to study, and I was given a runway of a month. Well, you weren't getting paid for that time. So I was living off my savings and just studying, and I locked myself in a room studying. And then I think it was Hurricane Maria came through, and everything was just like pushed back a month. So I got an extra month out of it, but it was, that's 2 months of like, all right, no income, no nothing, still got bills, but I can survive it. I can do it. And, I was told after, I'd gone through the exam, but that there was a betting pool, and they were all, he's not going to pass. So
Wow.
that was yeah, but that's okay. I like haterade. I like being an underdog. I did not take any offense to it. But that was a 7-hour exam, 7-hour block, and 3 hours, 1 hour break, 3 hours. And I'm not gonna lie, the entire time I thought I was failing because the questions were just getting very like the angles they were coming from were just like, what? I don't even understand what you're asking, But it was, yeah. But it was such a challenge to just get through that part. But I got it. I got it the first time. Every single exam I've gone through in this industry, I've knocked out the first time. The 215 I knocked out, the 7, the 66, the AAMS. And that doesn't mean that doesn't mean that I'm qualified more than anybody else, but it's a point of personal pride for me because I put a lot of work into it to make sure, like, you give whatever you do. I think it was the way I was raised that whatever you do, you give it everything, and even if you fail, you didn't leave anything behind. You left it all on the court, all on the field, whatever. And that is, your that's your personal pride that you took to make sure you gave it your all. And I'm a Miami Heat fan, a Miami boy, and Pat Riley, he was talking about something, and this is my only superstition that I have, and I'll go into the first few months of the industry after that. But the only superstitious ritual that I have is before every exam I've taken, I pulled a Pat Riley. And Pat Riley in the Miami Heat's run to the 2006 championship, they lost the first 2 games against Dallas, and then they proceeded to win the last 4. And that was the first championship, and that was the year I graduated high school. So it resonates with me. But Pat Riley talks about how he packed only 1 pair of like shirts, underwear, everything, because there wasn't going to be a game 7. That was it. They were going to win. So the night before, I cut a cigar, and I said, I'm going to light this up. And I had a bottle of tequila ready to go. And I said, I'm going to light this up. I'm going to drink this the next day because I'm going to pass. And I actually started a little bit earlier because the morning of, I took a shot of tequila to calm down my nerves. So that's now my ritual. The morning of every exam, I take a shot of tequila at 5 a.m. and I cut a cigar the night before. And, then you light it up later on. So, yeah, that's my little superstition that I do every single exam. Probably not healthy for me, but
No, I like a superstition like that. I think a superstition like that is important. I know you want to answer about the couple of months, but we had somebody live ask.
Yeah.
They said something about that they are intimidated sometimes by financial planners. It seems like a very scary place to go because you ask a lot of questions. What's the number one misperception that you think people have out there about what you do?
I think mainly because the only interaction that a lot of people have are movies like The Wolf of Wall Street, which is an awesome movie, or The Big Short, which is also an awesome movie. So a lot of what gets highlighted in our industry are the bad times, are when things go absolutely wrong. And what I think would shock a lot of people is that most advisors really care about their clients. I mean, my clients, I can tell you, I know all of them, and I put in as much effort as I possibly can to get to know them on a very detailed level because you're dealing with their finances. It's the hierarchy for most people is their family, their money, and their religion's up there as well. So you're in there and you're working on something that's very, very personal to them. That there could be a lot of pain associated, there could be a lot of promise associated with it, but the way I always look at it, at least me, this is the way I deal with trying to make this as unintimidating or as least intimidating as possible. I think unintimidating is a word, but as least intimidating as possible for people. It is? All right, good.
I think you're right. I think you're right, brother.
Who knows? But the way I try to approach it is I let them know that they're really in the driver's seat. They hire me. They're the boss. I'm a steward for them because this is my terrain. Just like, most people don't pull up a mirror and try to, give themselves a root canal. They normally go to a dentist who specializes in that, who's trained in that, who's had experience doing that. I'm that in their life as far as their finances and their financial planning, their estate planning, their retirement planning, whatever it may be. And at any point, I tell them, listen, you can sue me, you can fire me, you can do whatever you would like to do. And if you do, decide, man, this guy, total sleazebag, I think I need an attorney, ask me. I know a bunch of them in town. I will gladly refer them to you, and my partner Tyson hates it when I say that, but I think it gives people a sense of comfort to know that I'm in the boat with you. Yes. If I do a bad job, I want you to hold me accountable to it. Yes. Because at the end of the day, I'm a steward for you. My job as a fiduciary is to do what's in your best interest before mine. So
I love that.
Hopefully that makes people less intimidated.
I think people have, our industry, yours and mine, but insurance in general, let's say, not a great reputation, shystery. People have been burned. It's so sensitive for a lot of people, like you said, is you have to build that rapport and that trust. Now we're going to have to bring you back to answer the question earlier because we're almost out of time. But I did have another person go live, and I was going to ask you anyway, why never tell me the odds?
So I am a huge Star Wars fan. That is like my movie series. I'm a huge movie buff, and my favorite character of all time is Han Solo, and he has this one line which is "Never tell me the odds." And I feel like that's the way I live my life. Just like everyone always counts me out for whatever reason, and I'm like, that's fine. Don't tell me the odds because I don't care. I don't care what they are.
I think that creates when people tell you the odds, it becomes almost a limiting, self-fulfilling prophecy kind of thought process. So I love that quote. I did not realize it was Han Solo, but I love that because I think you set your mind up. Once somebody says, well, Rene, you've only got a 50% shot at this. Well, that's what you're thinking then the whole time. So I wouldn't want that either. That's letting that negativity in, and it takes over what you're really trying to accomplish. All right. So how do they reach you, my friend? You're going to have to come back. I do want you to sing it.
Yeah, that's fine. Absolutely.
But how do they reach you? How do they learn more about what you do? And what's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
So you can go to, I never look at the website, so I'm actually going to have to read it, RaymondJames.com/Tyson Smith Group, or just Google the Tyson Smith Group. I'm sure we'll be the first one to pop up. You can also call me at 407-246-4971. That's 407-246-4971. Or you can email me at rene.naranjo@raymondjames.com. So whichever method you'd like, give me a buzz, give me a holler. I'll be here for you.
You're awesome, buddy. Thank you so much. Definitely have to come back. I think we could do a little mini career day here and talk about that. That was awesome, Rene. Yeah. Thank you so much. Y'all, I know you've asked me before we went live to bring more people in the industries that you have an interest in. And financial planning is certainly one of them. So reach out to me, reach out to Rene, and I'll get you in touch with them if you want. Thank you, Rene. Rene Naranjo with Raymond James. Thanks, buddy, for being on the show. We'll see you guys soon.